Welcome to the last part of how to change your personal lifestyle. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2, definitely go and check those out first and then come back to this video. What I planned for today is just to have a little chit chat. I'll give you my tips and tricks and all the things I learned throughout this journey. Without further ado, let's go into my Notion. By the way, you can actually buy this Notion template. It will be down in the description box. It is a little bit of an investment from yourself, but you can also just recreate a page like this for yourself if you don't want to buy it. But I just wanted to start with a little overview of what we did and how my finalized page looks like in Notion. First things first, we did a research and analysis part where basically we chose the characteristics and the key words for the style that we wanted, and we also had mood boards made just so we can always come back to something visual. I feel like if you have something that you can refer back to visually, it will be just so much easier when you're sort of doubting yourself if you should or should not buy something. I had quite a few of these mood boards because at that point it was still winter and very cold in Sweden, but now it's summer and I knew that summer was approaching, so I wanted to have different options basically. Then I also added some Instagram inspo, which honestly I should probably update that, but I'll do that another time. And then one of the other exciting parts for me was to make the color palettes, and I did 2 color palettes. I realized later on that these 2 color palettes are more like winter fall, and I don't really have anything for summer, so I'm probably gonna add like a seasonal sort of thing this whole template, because I feel like my mood just shifts so much when it's colder, and when it's warmer I just tend to gravitate towards like lighter colors and a lot of whites and things like that. So I probably will do that. And then I have this like brand Bible sort of thing. These are the brands that I will be basically looking at when I want to buy something new, and this is going to become like an ever evolving list, of course. Then we have some key wardrobe pieces. Some of this I already added to my buy list because I found them, that's why they crossed out. And as you can see, I already have these black leather ballerinas from Zara, and I also have these black leather loafers. We have different views in this buy list. You have like all items, budget, so there you can see how much you will be spending on these things. And then we have the purchased items. You can get like a really nice overview of the items that you already purchased for yourself. So I feel like this is everything that you need. I didn't want to make anything that is just too complicated or too hard to update, and of course you can also just not include some of these parts if you feel like it is just too much for you. But I think for me it has a good ratio of visual things, creative things, and also just knowledge that I will look into later on, like the brand Bible, for example. And now I just want to give you some very quick tips and things that I learned throughout this journey, which I think and hope that will be helpful to you as well. First tip, essentials first. Basically, you want to start with basics that you can build your wardrobe on top of, and it's a lot of like white, gray, brown, beige, black pieces. No matter the style that you're choosing, I would definitely suggest trying to find some good versatile basic pieces, whether that's shoes or bags or clothes. And if you just Google like basics or like wardrobe must-haves, wardrobe basics or something like that, I'm sure that you will find so many lists. So I would definitely suggest reading through some of those lists and then making your own list of basics that you know you will reach for and use in your everyday life. That will definitely help you have a strong base that you can build on top of and add maybe like seasonal pieces that you like. Next one, quality over quantity. I feel like this has been said so many times, but I really wanted to highlight it as well. It is so much more worth it to invest into quality pieces over time, and it's better to sort of like save up for these pieces, to be honest. You can try different apps and buy these things used as well. For example, Vester Collective is a great app if you're looking into even like luxury brands. Even if not, it is just better to buy like a 100% cotton t-shirt from a good brand that costs a bit of extra money than just buying like a polyester one from like anywhere, because it will serve you for so much longer. So think of these quality pieces as investments for long term, because you buy them once and then you can use them for years. And another thing, this is more like a side tip, be sure to always follow labels on how to wash these pieces, because you can definitely ruin these clothes by not washing them properly. I know I've done that in the past for sure. And unfortunately, I totally ruined a wool scarf because of that. So that's just an extra little thing there. Okay, next tip, perfect fit. Prioritize something that fits you better versus something that is on your list or something is a thing that you need to get. What I mean by that is if something just doesn't really fit well on you or for you, doesn't really feel right, you're not going to use that piece no matter how much money it costs. So you have different options, of course, depending on the piece itself, but I would say make sure that the tailoring of that certain piece looks good on you. You can actually take it to a tailor. It gets adjusted to your own shape. So that is definitely something, especially with like high quality pieces, that you want to keep in mind and maybe consider. Patience is key. I know that you just want to go out there and buy a lot of things. At least that's what I was mentally when I started this project. And it's been really fun just getting to know different brands and what they offer. But rebuilding a whole wardrobe takes time and money. So just be patient with yourself, enjoy the process, go out, discover new brands. I absolutely love thrifting. So just go out, maybe check out some thrift stores. I think that in most cities now you can find these like luxury thrift stores where you can have like really good brands and find really good quality pieces, or there are a lot of Instagram accounts with like vintage sourcing. Of course, depends on your budget, so I'm just mentioning different options. I definitely want to get some of the pieces from like secondhand thrift stores. I just think it's such a good idea to give clothes another chance, and you can definitely find so many unique pieces. So while probably for the basics I'm going to go to these brands that I've shown you in my Notion, for more unique pieces I would actually go to the thrift store and try that, because I feel like they have so many unique and cool pieces that you will not see on anyone else. Next one, regular review. So I would suggest that periodically you actually review your list, because you can just keep adding things to it, and it is possible that you will just totally go far away from the original style that you wanted, which is also fine because we keep changing and evolving as people. So at any point, if the original planning doesn't work anymore, you might just want to sit down and rethink and redo those exercises that we've done together in the previous videos. But make sure that you regularly, and by regularly I mean maybe every 6 to 12 months, you kind of just review that you're still on the path that you want to be on, and those pieces that you're looking to curate for your wardrobe are still the ones that you actually want to have in your wardrobe. And my last tip is to have fun. Honestly, fashion is just a form of self-expression. It's supposed to be fun, make you feel confident and happy. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to find the perfect piece or the right piece. Yes, go out, have fun, try on different things, try on new things, but don't pressure yourself into thinking too much about it, to be honest. When I started this project, I was like maybe 2 or 3 months pregnant, and I didn't really realize that how much change that would be in my life. So I totally thought that I could do this project while being pregnant, and honestly, I feel like now I'm gonna redo the whole thing. Even though I had pregnancy in my mind, I didn't really have becoming a new mother in my mind when I was doing these exercises. So I just kind of want to redo the whole thing after our baby arrives. And of course, I'm going to give myself some time to just be and exist and maybe lose some weight and find back to myself. And then when I feel like I'm ready, I'm definitely going to just go back, redo this whole thing, just have fun, try on different things and feel what feels like me, I think is the right way to say it. So whatever you do, make sure that it's fun and it's not stressful to you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe before you leave, because that really helps supporting my channel. I hope that you learned some fun stuff, had a good time with these videos, and thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you next week.